Hello everyone. Today I wanted to do a video on a question I get asked a lot, which is, does an OLED TV like you're seeing in front of me, the LG 65C7, look better than average TV when used with normal content like you're seeing right now? And the answer is obviously yes. The thing is with TV tech, OLEDs are currently the top of the line usually for any manufacturer. So what happens is the best technology which a manufacturer offers is usually put into the OLED. And this is the same with all manufacturers which right now have an OLED display in their catalog, like Sony, Panasonic, Philips, and LG, obviously, which manufactures all of the OLEDs. And the second of all is the display itself. Obviously, OLED is a self-emissive display, and this means that when you're seeing blacks like right here, the blacks are actually truly black. So even with normal content which isn't 4K or which isn't HDR, you do still see a noticeable difference in terms of quality, simply because when you're seeing dark scenes, the contrast is just amazing. And it's not only for scenes which are like nighttime scenes or something like that. It's even noticeable in very small things like this, where you're just seeing a logo and the background is actually pitch black instead of this light grayish tint, which is usually a side effect of the LEDs behind the panel. So many people saying, yeah, you should only buy an OLED when you're only watching demo content all the time. This is actually nonsense. An OLED TV looks much better than an LCD TV in almost all aspects, simply because the processing power, first of all, is very good compared to an average LCD, and second of all, the display technology actually makes contrast much more better, even in average TV shows. So the price, obviously, which you're going to pay for these types of improvements are huge. When you're only watching TV shows like randomly, and yeah, then it's a kind of pretty expensive investment of 3,000 euros for a 65-inch screen. But if you're an enthusiast which likes watching high quality content, obviously, and also normal content a lot, then the OLED will not only shine with this high quality 4K content, but also with normal HD content, which is broadcast. Sports looks much smoother on this television because of the very nice processing, very high-end processing power. And normal TV shows just have much better contrast, which you would otherwise not get with the average LCD TV. So the difference in price isn't just because it's it's a new technology, but also because the image quality is much better than LCDs, in my opinion. I've even seen the Z9D from Sony, the highest end LCD which the market has for a local dimming, and also very high brightness. And I think the cons of such a display is that blooming is still apparent. With all 4A local dimming displays, blooming is a pretty big issue, and if you're seeing dark scenes, even with 4K or HD content, you will notice it all the time. And with the OLED TV, you don't have this issue. OLED TV might not get as bright as a Sony Z9D, but I think brightness is something you will only notice if you had the Z9D here and the OLED TV here. Otherwise, the difference in brightness is barely noticeable. And like I said before in my previous videos, image retention is still a very small problem. I've had this TV for almost a year now, maybe even longer if you count the 55-inch TV with it. And so far I haven't had any image retention with this television. I did have it before with my 55-inch LG C7. But that was mostly my own fault because I had a Blu-ray menu on the screen for like an hour. So yeah, then you'll see some static image retention, but turning off the TV and turning it on again with pixel refresher simply removed all the retention. So it was the issue. So all in all, to conclude this pretty short video, an OLED TV has much better processing power than your average LCD or your average TV. So the image will obviously look a lot smoother, a lot cleaner than it would with an average television, obviously. The OLED properties themselves aren't only beneficial to 4K HDR content, which I do watch through my Apple 4K box, by the way, but they're also noticeable with normal TV, with sports, with normal TV shows, with even the news or just commercials, all in all. The image quality and the contrast is just a lot better than it would be with the normal LCD. And I do also believe that the average person would actually notice it, because I've had a lot of people coming in and coming by and saying that the TV actually looks much better than any TV they've seen before, and that's even before they know it's an OLED. So the difference in quality is noticeable even by people who aren't actually videophiles. Obviously, like I said before, the price for such television, yeah, it's a lot of money, but it depends on where your interests are at. If you just want TV to, to view a quick show, yeah, why not use your cell phone, because it's a lot cheaper. And aside from that, yeah, you don't need such expensive TV to watch one or two shows. But if you're someone who also likes watching high quality content, like I do with the Apple 4K TV, which has amazing picture quality in there, 4K HDR movies, and you also watch normal TV shows, then the OLED is a definite improvement over your previous television. In my case, this was a 49-inch Philips TV with Ambilight. So that was LCD, and the difference between that TV and this TV is it's like miles apart. And even someone who has never seen a television in their life would actually notice the difference between the OLED and the LCD. I also think OLED is a better investment if you're looking for a high-end television instead of a high-end LCD TV, because issues like blooming are always apparent, and the difference in brightness between this OLED C7 and a Z9D from Sony is barely noticeable unless you have them next to each other, obviously. So this was my short update and a response to many questions which I've gotten about whether this TV only shines when you have high quality content, or whether it's also very good when you're looking at normal TV programming. So thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for my other videos and have a nice day. Goodbye.